welcome back to the BAS How To series, and we're delighted to have a return guest today. We have Nicole Gipson, Associate Editor of the Journal of American Studies, back today to talk about how to write an academic blog post. So thank you again, Nicole, for joining us. Um, the first question I wanted to ask is, how do I get started with writing an academic blog?
Okay, so in order to get started with writing an academic blog, you have to answer a few fundamental questions, Sean. For example, what do you want to talk about? Who is your target audience? What blogging platform will best facilitate your conversation with the audience? WordPress, Squarespace, or Wix, if you're starting the actual platform, if you're actually starting the academic blog yourself, as opposed to doing just a blog post. So what are the important questions that are being addressed in the scholarship about your chosen topics? You always want to situate your blog post or your blog within the scholarship, of course. So basically, you have to develop your text and your voice within the structure you've set for your blog. So, okay, so now a few fundamentals about the blog itself. So the standard blog post, as you know, is somewhere between 800 to 1,000 words, which means concision is key. Bloggers can avoid copyright issues for images by using hyperlinks to those images. And sources can also be cited through hyperlinks and the occasional footnote. An example of an excellent academic blog and the posts that go with it is the Thesis Whisperer, written by Professor Inger Mewborn, who is the Director of Research Development at the Australian National University. The Thesis Whisperer covers all sorts of topics on research support. So I recommend that you go there to get an idea of what a blog looks like and the corresponding content.
Yeah, that thesis whisperer sounds really useful, I think, particularly to watchers of this series. So what makes an interesting academic blog post?
Okay, but remember, Sean, you're writing for a niche readership. Therefore, the objective of your post should not only be conformity to a structure and referencing system that I just talked about, but should also concern the content relevance and your audience, right? An interesting blog post not only communicates the facts, but also makes insightful commentary that is informative and tailored to the community with whom you're engaging. So the tone and voice, content, language complexity should also enhance readership interest.
And speaking about the readership, what kinds of different audiences can you reach with the blog? Maybe different from normal academic audiences.
Right. Normal. In air
Normal.
quotes, right? Obviously, academic blogs target niche audiences, as I mentioned before, which speaks to that normalcy that you're hinting at within the academy. But there is an accessible market outside it. For example, we, the co-associate editors at the Journal of American Studies, are developing a strand called Alt-Ac, which is a back matter strand, meaning back matter pertaining to everything that is not peer review content. So it's a back matter strand in the journal that's going to be an academic blog for contributors such as independent scholars and for people working outside the academy, such as activists and community leaders. So we also want to include scholars who don't have full-time university contracts, such as early career academics and PhD students. I think there is an academy adjacent market of contributors and readers that is woefully underrepresented. An alt-ac blog could help create a publication space that fosters agency adjacent to and outside of the academy.
And what are some of the other benefits of writing either an academic blog that you host yourself or an individual blog post?
Well, I also want to add something, if I may. choosing topical subjects matter, such as the US presidential election and the state of American democratic institutions. So blogs can reach a wider readership in search of reliable content. So that is a benefit. It also piggybacks on the previous question. So other points are, for example, a benefit is creating a baseline, as I hinted just now, of reliability of information and a culture of critical thinking, which exists outside of the research excellence framework. Academic blog posts foster the development of a repository of sources through referencing and hyperlinks. And finally, the advancement of artificial intelligence as an editing tool and for content production is forcing bloggers to redefine their relationships to content creation, which begs the question, what added value does human-generated content have over bot-generated content? I believe that a more personalized relationship to blog post content grounded in human experience in physical and psychological spaces are some of the ways that bloggers can maintain a competitive edge over bot generated content. Fortunately, the blog post format allows for a more personal touch than what is expected in a more traditional academic writing form.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I feel really inspired to start my own academic blog, so I'm sure our viewers will feel the same. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, and good luck to everyone who wants to either start their own academic blog or to supply content for other blogs.
Thanks. Bye-bye.